Hey y'all, what's up? It's Friday, so I'm gonna keep it black. But I don't think this one all that brief either. I hate to tell y'all. What am I saying? I love to tell y'all because y'all need to hear it. DEI done died. Or at least it's on the verge. What's DEI? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. You might have heard it used in the workplace from 2020 to 2022 as JEDI, or Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. In the aftermath of the killings of Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Rayshard Brooks, and many others in 2020, we saw the United States and US-based companies burst into action, establishing all of these funds and initiatives to show black people that they got the atoning for racism thing right this time. Right? Wrong. I'll get into the DEI debacle of today in just a second, but let me take you on a little ride. Even Kendi, the author of Stand From the Beginning, which I don't know, you might have seen me in the documentary. The documentary that's currently up for an NAACP Image Award. Oh, and would you look at that, so am I. 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row. All right. The book Stamp was released in 2016, the year Donald Trump got elected. And in the beginning of this book, Dr. Kendi did an excellent job foreshadowing the racial unrest that would take place over the next 4 years. And do you know how? Because the only reason Donald Trump got elected is because white people were mad we had a black president for 8 years. Yeah. Let's remind the people. We all know Trump was punishment for just having the audacity to believe that they could be leaders of the free world. And this punishment was indicative of just another wave of white backlash to black progress, which our history has seen so much of. Case in point, enslaved people literally start doing anything, slave codes. Black people get free, Johnsonian Reconstruction. Black people start getting involved in government, Compromise of 1877, followed by black codes. Black people start having a little fun during the Renaissance, Jim Crow. Black Panthers start brandishing weapons, all of a sudden we got clarified gun laws. And the list goes on, and now today, the people in charge said the blacks have been standing in the sun for far too long, and now we gotta go back towards racism. The whites talk about DEI like it's a new affirmative action, and that they believe it to be something constructed for Negroes to get ahead without being qualified, which doesn't make any sense. Because those same people consciously make it hard for us to do any damn thing. So ain't nobody black getting a job or being appointed to something they're not qualified for 3 times over, because we got to be at least twice as good. But this isn't just Jim Bob and Sue Ellens complaining from their Facebook pages. The Tom, Dixon, Chaz, and Christies over in Congress are literally trying to pass anti-DEI legislation and succeeding in some cases. Fearless Fund, a non-profit org built to fund the business ventures of black women, is being sued right now for racial exclusion because 3 Asian and/or white women are not qualified to apply for the grant. Asian and white women? Of all the women? These 2 classes of people in particular have benefited the most from nepotism and anti-black policies and anti-black legislation outside of white men for centuries. Let us have something for ourselves, please. God damn. Stop playing in our face and wasting our time trying to get you some get back. The playing field cannot be even until it is equitable. In education, more than 30 bills across the country against the funding, practices, and promotion of it are happening not even in grade school, but on college campuses. Last June, we saw 6 black women executives at major networks get the boot damn near all at once due to DEI cuts. And on top of that, Elon Musk just got his dastardly ass on Twitter, blaming the doors flying off of United Airlines planes and Boeing on their efforts to recruit a more diverse workforce. Are you serious? And now we in the comments challenging the IQs of black airline workers. Girl! And I know maybe we're all confused. Maybe y'all are talking about a different DEI, because diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives are meant to secure diverse and equitable practices and personnel. Do you know what equity means? It's in place because y'all literally owe us something. And not just because you owe us something, but just because you owe us something doesn't mean we have to be qualified candidates to receive the things. Given slavery, it kinda does. And the subsequent illegal but government protected sanctions that prevented us from building wealth and becoming a protected class every single day, every single year since 1865, we qualify simply off the string of being black. Be for real. And we wouldn't be wrong for thinking like that, but still, DEI don't got it like that. We cannot simply advance in places we are not qualified to be in. I know that's how it's worked for most of y'all, but those rules literally do not apply to us and you made it that way. Which is why we have to have special initiatives in place to make sure the opportunities we have earned access to, we have just as much access to as the next person. And it's not even just us black people. The ACLU said at least 510 anti-LGBTQ bills were introduced last year alone. I cannot make this up. Project 2025, they would like to put a stop to all bills that make any sexual orientation or gender identity a protected class. Ladies, folks with an X, they also want to take federal funding away from Planned Parenthood. Also, they just released the body cam footage of 19-year-old Virgilio Aguilar Mendez being racially profiled by a cop who could have used some DEI training his damn self. Walked up on that boy who could not speak English, who was minding his business, eating his food, and conducted an illegal search and seizure. I thought somebody said stop and frisk was illegal. Tased the boy 5 times, got himself all worked up and died of a heart attack. And now the 19-year-old boy himself is facing charges of manslaughter after not even touching that man. Why? Because he's beholden to a system that don't care nothing about diversity, equity, or inclusion. But it's a lot of Latinx and Hispanic folk that voted for Trump last time and gonna vote for him again. And why? Black people, not too much on them, because it be some of your cousins too. Sexy Red, Lil Wayne, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg as of late, encouraging young impressionable voters to vote for Trump because he never did nothing bad to you, because he cut you a check during the pandemic. He did not want to cut you that check. He literally said no. He just made sure they stamped his signature on it so you would think it was from him. Child, look at me. If you really think back on it in 2020 when we asked him to stop killing us, all they did was give us money. And now they taking it back, cracking the good old economic whip just like we knew they would. Teacups and tea dropping February 23rd. Pour into self.